Right now, mono eating cleanse challenge. This is the preliminary. This is the beginning. This is to be prepared. We need to be prepared. What are you guys doing? Are you guys ready for it? Do you have any papaya? Can you find that? If that's not something you're interested in the mono eating cleanse, because we'll talk about the different options and stuff. Are you doing banana? Is that something you're doing, right? Are you doing the steamed potato one where it's potatoes? How about that, right? And you have your celery ready too. Is that going on? I mean, this is serious business here. You do have some lettuce for the next few days. Got some other things here too, some other options to talk about. Or maybe even peas. Do you have some peas? That's another thing as well. Glad you guys are coming on. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. We're live on Clubhouse. We're talking about the mono eating challenge. That's tomorrow. So the mono cleanse, that's what we're talking about. It's going to be tomorrow, the next day, 3 days. I'm coming on for a reminder, answer some questions too, because a lot of people are asking, can I do my heavy metal detox during the mono eating cleanse? So that's a question there. Can I eat different things? Can I do watermelon during my mono eating cleanse? So everybody's got a question. I know you guys are going to have some questions I'm going to look out, and I'll try to read some questions also on TikTok as well. I'm going to juice a little celery for myself. I didn't even have any today. I hope you have some celery ready for the cleanse. It's important. It's really important. So, for example, if you choose, say, the steamed potato mono eating cleanse, you're still going to need your celery because celery juice is really important right there. If you choose the banana version, right, that's another one too. And do you have a medical medium cleanse to heal? Because without the guide, it's going to be harder to do. You can be there because I'm going to be doing it for myself, the Mono Eating Cleanse Challenge. You could be here for it. You can work with the stuff I'm going to teach you or show you. But do you have cleanse to heal? And that's really important. It's an important piece because the mono eating section right here in the book. So, and the details are in here. So you'll see right here, you guys, mono eating cleanse. See on TikTok, see on YouTube and Facebook, right there. There you go. So the mono eating cleanse, that's it right there. See, I got little postage notes right there too. Good to see you guys coming on. Happy about that. So you guys can do a couple of different options in here. And I'm going to give you just the rundown right here, right off the running, okay? You can do a banana mono eating cleanse with optional lettuce, because lettuce should be in there, and banana. And I'll talk about what else we can do. Papaya is a mono eating cleanse too. If you can get a hold of papayas, then you can just do papaya. Banana and papaya is optional. So both. So if you want to do banana and papaya, and then you have your lettuce, that's the other option there. Steamed potatoes is an option with lettuce, okay? Steamed peas is another option. So steamed peas, a lot of people, they can't get a hold of potatoes, or they can't get a hold of papaya, they can't get a hold of banana, then you got the steamed peas. Right? Then there's an option where you do steamed winter squash. You guys see the butternut squash right here? But you can do the steamed winter squash and then pick some green beans or some Brussels sprouts or some asparagus for the end of the day as well, and have that with your lettuce. So that's another option there too. So you have all these. Now there's people that are saying, well, hey, can I do watermelon? Yeah, you can do watermelon, but the whole thing with watermelon is you better be doing your celery juice. You can't just say, hey, I'm going to do watermelon for the next 3 days and not do your celery juice. You need those mineral salts, or you're going to hit that place where, boom, you're basically just doing a juice fast. That's all that is. Because watermelon doesn't have enough calories to sustain without all of a sudden making it where you want to break, or you got to have the celery juice in there if you go that route. And if you're doing the watermelon version, right, that's the one you pick, because some people are like, I love watermelon. It's watermelon season where I am. Let me do that. You've got to be doing your celery juice. You should be bringing in some lettuce, okay? So if you don't mind some lettuce in there, bring in some lettuce, okay? And you don't want to do it long term. The mono eating cleanse has been designed from Spirit of Compassion to do long term if you would like, long term if you want. And that long term is to heal things. So it's to really heal deep issues. Crohn's, colitis, celiac, IBS, cramping, bloating, flatulence, gastritis, acid reflux, gastroparesis. So the mono-eating cleanse is designed for deep healing from intestinal disturbances, intestinal problems, recovery from food poisoning, right? Recovering from that, recovering from a stomach bug, recovering from the stomach flu. The mono-eating cleanse is designed to recover. Some people get the stomach flu so bad, they're ripped to shreds for months. They can't get back on track. Their guts are a mess. And the mono-eating cleanse is to get somebody back on track, to bring them back from stomach flu, food poisoning, anything. Crohn's, colitis, IBS, acid reflux, gastroparesis, like I said, diarrhea, constipation. So the mono-eating cleanse challenge we're doing is really designed for someone to heal along the way, and it's all talked about right here in Cleanse to Heal. So if you guys don't know, Amazon.com US, okay? You can get it on sale, 51% off right now, or look for it at the library. But make sure you have this, because this guide is incredibly important for this. So if you guys just got on here, we're talking about the Mono-Eating Cleanse Challenge that's coming tomorrow. So it's going to be 3 days. It's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to be doing it and showing you guys what to do and everything. This is kind of like preparation. This is preparing. That's what this is. Do you have Cleanse to Heal number 1? Okay, we'll go through it. Do you have Cleanse to Heal? Okay, that's the first thing right there. Right? That's one thing there. Okay. Do you have some celery? Do you have that? Just got to go through this, you guys. Do you have some lettuce? That's butterleaf lettuce. Do you like a green butterleaf? Do you have lettuce? Okay. Are you going to do the banana one? Do you have bananas? Are they ripe enough? Are they ripe enough? Do you have bananas? Those are ripe. Those are actually almost a little past what the way I like them. Is it okay to take heavy metal detox smoothie with mono eating? So let's cover that a little bit. There's going to be a heavy metal detox cleanse challenge that I'm going to be doing for next month, right? That's going to be next month's healing challenge, right? Heavy metal detox. So that's what it's going to be, right? So the mono eating cleanse is set up for people who got the food sensitivities, right? They got all kinds of stomach problems. They got all kinds of chemical sensitivities, food sensitivities, food allergies. So you have all these other things too, okay? They got, like the inflammation inside the gut. So inside their gut, they're inflamed. They don't know it, but they got bad bacteria. They got viruses. They got yeast and mold. They got fungus deep down in their gut. And it's all in here. So the medical medium mono-eating cleanse is something to get someone back on track. Get out of SIBO. Get rid of that. Get into a better place. Move past these problems. The inflammation. So a lot of people that use it, including hives, right? Including hives, because it's the liver being junky and everything. But a lot of people use the mono-eating cleanse to save their butt, to heal and recover. They're kind of sensitive, so they're not doing much of anything else. So they just keep it the mono-eating. If you want to bring in the heavy metal detox, bring it in after a few days. Bring it in after a few days. That's all. Do the mono-eating cleanse without it, just for a few days. Why not? If you really don't want to lose really don't want to lose the heavy metal detox smoothie, keep it in, but that's going to be your own version, right? Meaning like your own little kind of customizing. You're customizing the medical medium tools. So if you want to be that person, you say like, I still want to do my heavy metal detox smoothie, but still want to do the mono eating cleanse. Okay, we can hybridize it. Customize it. That's what you're doing. You're customizing it your way, right? Say, I'm going to use this medical medium tool, the heavy metal detox smoothie, and I'm going to use this medical medium tool, some mono eating. And that's what you're going to do. But depending on the person, what's going on, you may get different results. That's why the mono eating cleanse is designed a certain way for certain gut problems. But yes, you could do the heavy metal detox smoothie. Question answered. Yes, yes, yes. Another question was the watermelon. Answer that one. Yes, you can do that. That's going to be another. You're doing a medical medium tool and a medical medium tool, and that's what you're doing. You're doing the celery juice. But you got to do the celery juice if you're going to play with watermelon for those few days. You got to do the celery juice while you're playing with watermelon, and you might want to think about still having some butterleaf lettuce instead of just doing all watermelon, all watermelon, all watermelon. Okay? You got to have enough of the mineral salts with that watermelon. Keep that in mind. You have to have the mineral salts with that watermelon if you're going to go that route. Okay? So the bananas look a little browner than normal, right? But they're not that ripe. They're ripe enough, just right. What happened is I washed my bananas. They just come from the store. I'll just wash them is what I do. So when you wash bananas, the skins on the outsides do this. So that's what happens when you wash them. I know people, they buy them in the store, they grab them, they crack one open, they eat one with their hands. And what they don't realize, that a whole bunch of people are going through these bananas in the store. It's like, I don't know if I want that bunch. Let me put that back. I don't know if I want that bunch. They're grabbing the carriage. There's all kinds of strep and E. coli on their hands and all kinds of herpes simplex 1 on their hands, for playing with their cold sores or something. And there's all kinds of different stuff on their hands all over the place. There's feces on shopping carts. There's always feces on the handles of shopping carts, just so you know. There's always feces on that. So what if I get bananas from the store, right, and it's not in a case, because I like to get a case of bananas. This time, I didn't get a case of bananas, so I got like single bunches. So I just gave it a wash, that's all. So I'm using it, because I don't want to put this on my cutting board, just right, it comes out of the store, you put it right on your cutting board. I don't want to do that. It's not a smart move. That's why. And it's why people they're like, hey, I'm doing your stuff. And all of a sudden I'll feel good with something. I remember over the years, but like Spirit of Compassion would be like, yeah, because they just bought stuff, threw all their containers on their cutting board, threw all their stuff on their cutting board, all kinds of different bugs and things, feces from shopping carts and other stuff, just all over the stuff. And then the other thing too, people don't realize in the warehouses, where all the grocery products are. There's rats running through all the grocery stores. There's rat poison in the corners of grocery stores, all the grocery store chains. There's mice, there's roaches, there's rats in the warehouses of all the department of groceries. Doesn't matter what department it is, whether it's meat, whether it's produce, whether it's non-perishables, whatever it is. You got like all that going on. So, and I've always known that like if you're into canned food, you want to wash the can off, the lid on the can, even if the lid on the can looks fine. So you got your can of beans or something. Someone will buy their can of beans or something. They'll buy the can of beans, and then you don't know it, but there's rat feces that you can't see on top of the can. People don't realize this, so that's why I just like keeping things a little cleaner. Hanina says, my cleanse was helping me so much as I have great gut problems. Yeah, the mono-eating cleanse is great for helping out the gut issues. If you're somebody that's just new to this, you're new to the medical medium information, you're new to the medical medium books, this is a book to have right here. And this is a book to have for this kind of thing that I'm doing the mono eating cleanse challenge. I'm challenging myself. I love that, right? There's a question that comes up all the time. It's sweet potatoes. Can I use sweet potatoes in the mono eating cleanse? Yeah, you can. You can. But there's a reason why when you open the book and you read in here, there's a reason why life-saving information is set up in this book like it is and how it heals people. There's a reason why it's not, there's all this stuff isn't like, it doesn't say in here, mono eating options, okay? Make sure you use sweet potato for a mono eating option. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say, make sure you eat sweet potato. It doesn't say that because I'll tell you why. Sweet potatoes are a little bit more, or a lot more fibrous. They have strings in them. So sweet potatoes have strings in them. So here's the thing. Say you're somebody with Crohn's, colitis. Say you're somebody that's got a lot of gastric problems where you can't even eat anything. Like you can't even eat anything. I have to look out for everybody, right? Like I gotta look out for people who are in that condition, right? And their gut's inflamed. They got pockets and narrowing in here. So they got narrowing problems inside their gut. They got pockets inside their gut, right? Sweet potatoes are fine to eat, but if you're going to eat large amounts of them or more of them and just eat them every day, mono eating, they have a lot of strings. They have fiber strings in there. Did you ever see those before in the sweet potatoes? When you cut a sweet potato, it's like there's arteries in them. You can't see them. A lot of them are small. You can't see those passageways in the sweet potato. Well, those, they get bulky. They get bulky inside the tummy. So you got somebody that can barely eat anything. They got all kinds of problems. They're going to feel the sweet potato a little bit more. I want everybody to get a chance to heal. Yeah, sweet potatoes are great to eat. It's a great food. But the reason why it's not in here is mono eating cleanse is geared up for people that got some messed up guts. So what I do is the steamed potatoes, the regular potatoes are great. They're great for the mono eating if that's the direction you want to go. So what I have to say, you guys, and you can use the red potato, not sweet or yam, but the red potato that's not, it's red or gold or russet, right? Regular potatoes. What I got to say is, are you prepared? What are you going to do? Are you going to do the banana with lettuce, celery juice? You're going to do papaya, lettuce, and celery juice? Are you going to do papaya and banana, lettuce, and celery juice? Are you going to do the steamed potatoes? Are you going to do steamed peas as an option with lettuce, celery, right? Are you going to do the steamed winter squash? Right? That's the butternut right there. Steamed winter squash. Is that what you're going to do? And so these are different options right here. And getting the book is critical so you got all the details, because the questions are going to crop up. Once you're in this thing, you're going to be like, oh my God, I got a question. Oh my God, I got another question. Let me get online and start asking questions. Meanwhile, it's right here. Important to know. So when we're healing the gut, food allergies, difficult gut issues of any kind, gut problems of any kind, okay? People don't know what to eat. And they run into this whole thing. We're like, what do I eat? What do I eat? What do I eat? What do I do? What can I eat? And that's what people run into. Oh, I tried that, but my stomach's not feeling good. I tried this, but my stomach's not feeling good. I heard this is good for me. I heard that's good for me. And a lot of times it's going to lead people down a path of gut destruction. Because now you're going to be dumping gut powders in. You're going to be trying everything. You're going to be trying bentonite clay. Then you're going to be somebody trying charcoal. Then you're going to be somebody trying whey protein because you're like, I got to get my protein. And then that protein robot thing kicks in. I know some of you guys don't like when I do the robot. I know that. Some of you guys might like it. Some of you guys don't like it. But then the robot kicks in. Selena, how about the people who eat the bananas, the peels? It's not a great thing to do. There's a tannin in the banana peel. So there's a certain tannin in there, and you don't want to eat the banana peels. They don't do a whole lot for us, and it's something that's irritating on the lining, really irritating on the lining. And so the whole point is, yeah, you love the robot? Well, the thing is, everybody becomes a protein robot. It's like, where do you get your protein? That's what people are going to be like. They're like, where's your protein, though? So they're like, where do you get your protein? Where's your protein? Where's your protein? Where do you get your protein? Protein. Everybody's like the protein robots is what they are. And that's the mini robot. The point is that everybody's going to be like, well, where's mono eating cleanse? Where's my protein? That's one thing we're going to talk about. We'll talk about something else as well. Yeah. The whole thing is about healing some important organs in everybody. So let's go into that for a couple of seconds, all right? Let's do that. I'm also going to run some celery juice. I need some for today myself. Let me push this forward a little bit. My buddy here, all right? So here's what happens. Your liver gets dirty, it gets stagnant, it gets abused by the industries. Not by you, by the industries. We get taught to just destroy our liver. That's what we get taught to do. We get taught to eat so much protein and fat that we just kill our livers. That's what we get taught. Isn't that great? We're taught that. That's just what happens. And so the liver gets stagnant, sluggish, it starts to break down, and then it can't produce the bile it needs to produce. So the bile reserves drop. Gallbladders get all skanky and bad and problematic. They get all toxic. The gallbladder gets all toxic, all filled up with junk, right? And so we start to get like minor versions of organ failure as the years go on. Yeah, you can have organ failure for 50 years. You can have organ failure. So like when someone's heart is failing, they try to keep you alive as long as possible. They try to keep your heart working as long as possible, right? And you can have heart failure for years. But what people don't realize is organ failure is something that just lasts for decades in so many people. It's a liver failure. That's the organ that goes into this place. Gallbladder failure for years. It's what's happening is your liver's failing to produce the amount of bile it needs to break down fats. Your stomach is failing to produce the gastric acid, the HCl, to break down your proteins. And then we just fat ourselves to death, protein ourselves to death. That's what we do. We fat ourselves to death and we protein ourselves to death. Hopefully this doesn't fall off right now. So we end up eating all the fat. We have our fat. We fry our eggs in butter. We do our scrambled eggs in oil, whatever. I know that many of you guys are like, "Well, I use coconut oil for my eggs." You're not fooling your body, man. It's all the same when it comes down to fat, even though it's a better fat than butter. And so we just we just fat ourselves for years and years and years, and that's what happens. We have the bagels. How many of you guys do bagels? Like, how many of you guys do the bagels, cream cheese, the bagels, and different things, right? And we do that. And overall, over time, we get ourselves in trouble. I mean, how many burgers have you guys had over the years, right? Okay, so we break down our gut. We break down our gastric system. We break everything down. How many of you guys got this in the house right now? You know what I love about the mono eating cleanse? It's not going to be mono eating eggs. Every now and then somebody will be like, "Well, I only eat cheese, I only eat eggs, and I only eat meat. So I'm mono eating cheese, eggs, and meat." And I'm like, oh my God. What you're doing is you're killing your liver. You're killing your stomach glands. You're killing your pancreas. You're feeding all the bugs. So the point is that we got some things to repair over time. And I'm not going into all the details, man. I'm not going into all the details, you guys. I'm not. Like, the amount of stuff we do and take that just rips us down inside, right? So the mono eating cleanse is a chance to recover, a chance to come back, even if you don't know you're down in that place where you're hurting, because you can't sense it yet or feel it yet. You don't know your liver's stagnant and sluggish yet. You don't know you're hurting. You don't know you got problems yet, right? You don't know. And so let's talk about what the mono eating cleanse does. One of the things is, it provides protein. Yes, bioavailable protein. That's what it provides. So keep that off your worry list, because people have that as a worry, right? Provides omegas. Yes, it does. It provides phytochemical compounds, antioxidants, antiviral compounds, antibacterial compounds, glucose, mineral salts, and that's just some of the things it provides. It's important to know. So I want to tell you guys something, and we get turned into this like protein robot, and we do. And here's the funny thing. Protein doesn't kill viruses. It doesn't kill bacteria. And everybody's sick because of bacteria and viruses, right? Protein doesn't take out toxic heavy metals. So we can do all protein shakes, protein everything. It doesn't take out toxic heavy metals. It doesn't kill bugs. Protein doesn't get rid of yeast and mold and unproductive, dangerous fungus. Protein doesn't get rid of petrochemicals and plastics. It doesn't get rid of radiation. It doesn't do any of this stuff. So interesting, right? So we got to do other things to get your organs repaired and get the bad stuff out. everybody's eating a ton of protein. Everybody's eating a ton of protein. And they're sick, and they stay sick, and they stay sick, or they waif back and forth from being sick to a little better, being sick to a little bit better. But they get in trouble either way. Keep that in mind. So ask what your protein's doing for you, because apparently medical research and science doesn't know what protein does for us. They don't know, because they don't know why we're sick, but they tell you to keep on taking the protein, right? I'm talking about plant-based, vegetarian, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, okay? Animal protein diets, keto, paleo, whatever you choose or do, whatever fancy name comes around the corner for diets. Protein doesn't get rid of the toxic heavy metals. Protein doesn't get rid of the pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. Protein doesn't get rid of the petrochemicals and the solvents. Protein doesn't get rid of the scented candle chemicals and the air freshener chemicals. Protein doesn't get rid of the bugs, the viruses, the bacteria, the mold, the yeast, the fungus. Protein doesn't do any of that. So you can eat your protein all you want. You'll still be in the dental chairs getting your teeth all drilled and all your teeth getting, implants and root canals. You'll still get that. You'll still get your gallbladders removed. You'll still get your appendix removed. You'll still get sick. You'll still stay sick the whole bit. And that's what will happen. And, the bottom line is, hold on. The bottom line is, hold on, you guys. Got a little tech problem. The mono-eating cleanse is to restore and heal. That's what it's for. It can be done long term. It could be done a year. It can be done 2 years. It can be done for a month, 6 months, 8 months. It can be done long term, short term. We're doing a 3-day mono cleanse challenge. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. Intestinal tracts get inflamed with bugs. That's what they get inflamed with. So our guts get inflamed with bugs. That's what happens, okay? And they'll lose all the body parts. They just fall apart there on the ground. So what happens is that everybody's got little buggies inside their gut. They got inside their colon. They got inside their small intestinal tract. And you can take all the probiotics you want. You can take all the microflora products you want. You can do all the microorganism products. You can do the fecal matter implant, which is insane, which is absolutely insanity. You can do anything you want with your gut. Do your coffee enemas if you wanted to, which is insane, just terrible. You can do all these different things. You can add all the fermented foods you want with all the fermented probiotics and all you want there. And all that's going to do is nothing, because your bad bugs don't battle the good bugs. Your good bugs don't battle the bad bugs. To put all the good stuff you want, you're still going to be inflamed. You're still going to have problems. You still end up with the acid reflux later. Your H. pylori won't go away. If you're somebody with H. pylori, you don't even know you have H. pylori. Your E. coli won't go away. Eventually, it'll cause diverticulitis down the road. It'll happen when you're 60 years old. Just is going to happen. Might be 25 now and be like, no, I'm doing the good stuff for my gut, whatever. When you're 50, you're going to be like, oh my God, I got to get 12 inches of my colon cut out. So it happens to everybody. So the mono-eating cleanse is about starving the bad bugs. That's what it is. So it's like 3 days of starving the bad bugs and then working on healing also inflamed tissue. Healing inflamed tissue, you guys. You guys just got on here. Medical Medium, Cleanse the Heal in front of me right here. This is an incredible healing tool, packed with information. Do the Mono Cleanse Challenge the next 3 days. I'm doing the preliminary. We're talking about preparing. Tomorrow, it's about starting. I'm pumped up. Check this out when you can, because it's really important to have the details, which is it's critical. So Amazon.com US is 51% off on this book. Try to find it at the library if you want it for free. But read the Mono Cleanse Challenge, okay? Chapter in this book. So I'm in here now, so I'm talking about the different options. Let's go into it a little bit. Let's remove this intestinal tract off the cutting board. And I'm glad you guys are here. I missed you guys, by the way. I think it's been a little while since we've been doing the lives. Dr. Fawn, MD, good to see you. Glad you guys are coming on. So, banana is one option right there. So if you're going to do the banana one, you want your celery juice, okay? But let's just go through it a little bit. Let's do like a little test run. First of all, I got some water here. Gonna wake up in the morning. This is part of the Mono Eating Cleanse Challenge. Wake up in the morning. I got my lemon, right? Gonna do lemon water, 16 to 32 ounces of lemon water right off the running. There you are, right? You wake up in the morning, flush that liver. Flush the liver. Now remember, there's no overt fats in the Mono Eating Cleanse. You're not mono eating avocado. You're not doing that. You're not mono eating steak. You're not mono eating eggs. You're not mono eating butter. You're not going to be mono eating any fats. There's not going to be any of the fats. There's traces of fats in all of the foods in the Mono Eating Cleanse, but you're not going to be mono eating any overt fats, any radical fats. That's what I call radical fats, right? You want your lemon water first thing in the morning. You want to cleanse out the garbage. You want to cleanse out the stuff that's been building up inside the liver. So you want to cleanse that liver is what you want to do, right? First thing, off the running. Kenneth says, I always look forward to your lives. My days feel more complete and feel like I have someone behind my back supporting me. I got your back. I do. I want you to know that I care about you guys, and I want you guys to have answers. I want you guys to have options, choices, right? Tools, really critical. 16 to 32 ounces of lemon water. You start out your day with that. You flush out the liver. You flush out the poisons. Get them out. Get them out. First thing you got to do, you guys. Okay? Next thing you got to do is celery juice. Just reading comments too, as well. Next thing I'm going to do is celery juice, and I'm going to actually pull the juicer out now because I didn't have any today, and I'm going to run some if you guys don't mind. And we're still going to talk about the Mono Eating Cleanse Challenge, right? It's important to have the book. Read the book. Really important. So you want 16 to 32 ounces of celery juice. Right? So you're going to juice a little bit of that real quick. You need the mineral salts. You need the trace minerals. You know, when I hear someone do like the carnivore diet, I'm like, oh my God, it's just a matter of time. Yeah, you're feeling a little better for 5 seconds, but it's a matter of time before you just run out of everything your body needs to restore, recover, and heal. Clockwork. There's not one carnivore diet person that doesn't just blow themselves up from doing that. It's just terrible, right? You gotta have the mineral salts. When someone adds celery juice to whatever mistakes they're making, it actually allows them to keep on making mistakes. Did you guys know that? There's people out there like, well, no, I still want to have my cheat night. I still want to have my cheat meals, but I'm still gonna do my celery juice. Well, you know what's allowing you to have cheat meals and not get too injured by it is your celery juice. So, but just think about if like you do in the Mono Eating Cleanse. If you're sensitive, if you got tummy problems, you don't do 16 to 32 ounces. You know, if I was sensitive, if I had tummy problems, I would do like 4 ounces. You can do that. That's all right. You work your way up. You guys. Everybody on here, I just want you to know, the Medical Medium Mono Cleanse Challenge starts tomorrow. I'm just prepping you guys, meaning providing some answers to some questions. If you just got on here, watch this live again on YouTube if you want. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Clubhouse, TikTok. You guys have your papayas. You guys have your bananas. I have steamed potatoes over here. I got papayas. I got bananas. You guys got your peas? You know, doing the steamed pea root is pretty awesome too. Steamed peas. You do your lemon water in the morning. You do your celery juice. There's questions, can you still take your supplements? Can you still do that if you're doing the mono-eating cleanse? There's a section in the chapter that talks about that. If you still want to do supplements. Yes, and you can read about the information. So I'm just juicing a little bit of celery juice. Samelt says, can I do supplements? Now here's the thing. That's a really good question too. Can I do supplements, right? Well, what supplements are we talking about? Are we talking about charcoal? Like some bad probiotic blend? Are we talking about a protein powder? Are we talking about some big multivitamin powder? It's got garbage and junk in it, and MSG. Are you talking about stuff with citric acid in it? Are you talking about whey protein powder? Are you talking about bentonite clay? Are you talking about zeolite? Are you talking about chlorella? What are you talking about? Because all these things are irritants and problems to the intestinal tract. They're all irritants and problems to the intestinal tract. So, you know, when someone's like, yeah, can I still do my supplements? Well, you could be doing stuff that's really irritating, really problematic, but I'm not telling you not to do them. You do what your doctor wants you to do. I'm just telling you that that's what I would be asking myself right there, okay? And I cover this in the Medical Medium Cleanse to Heal book. So it's like, there's a difference between doing supplements and there's a difference between doing irritants and supplements that actually cause problem, that don't do anything for you and you don't realize it. It's all of that. So here's what can happen. You're doing the Medical Medium Mono Cleanse and that's actually bringing your liver back and you're taking all these garbage supplements, you know, and just that could happen too. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm just saying people do that. So I'm just doing a little bit more celery right here. Getting a little bit more in here. Everything freezing on you guys out there? All right, just want to juice a little bit of celery, and there we are. I'm going to put this away. Yeah. Got my celery juice. Just love that. Dry pulp and just a little bit of pulp, but dry. It's amazing. When that stuff is dry like that, that's incredible. No other juicers do that. It's the only juicer that does that. I love it. It's going to strain this. You got to strain your celery juice. The reason why I'm actually juicing celery right now is not just because I want some myself, but because I want to remind you guys you have to strain your celery juice. You have to. Celery juice shouldn't have any fiber or pulp in it, or it's not going to work to its maximum level. And if you're going to be doing the mono-eating cleanse, because I'm going to be doing that, then you want that maximum, right? If you can't do lemon water and you can't do lemon, or you don't have a lemon, do water in the morning first thing. Okay? Read about it in the substitute section in the Cleanse to Heal book. You can do that. You can read about it in the Cleanse to Heal. So we'll run over some stuff. Janice says, do you need to eat the same thing all 3 days, or can you do papaya one day, squash the next day? Okay, good question. Look, if you do papaya one day, banana the next, you do papaya one day, steamed potatoes the next, if you do papaya one day, whatever, and you're doing, you know, winter squash next, don't want to lose that one. If you do that, you're basically customizing medical medium tools. That's what you're doing. So you're customizing medical medium tools. It's not meant to be like that. Yeah, you can do it, but you're customizing. You're changing up medical medium tools, right? That's what you're doing. So there's no law against it, right? You can do banana one day, you can do papaya the next, steamed potatoes the next, So you mono eat one thing one day, you mono eat one thing another day, you mono eat. Because you basically do, what you did basically is you're doing mono eating for one day, mono eating for another day, just changing it up, right? That's what your heart desires. That's what you want to do. Something you can do. Is it meant to be like that? It's not meant to be like that. But if you find, but at the same time, and I talk about this in Cleanse to Heal, just so you know, if there's something that you're not jiving with, something you're feeling like you're not gelling with, right? And if you're not gelling, you don't want to do the steamed potato one, and that's what you're doing for a day or two, you can switch it up. 100%. You can. And then start doing papaya. But the goal is to be on one of them eventually for a while. That's the goal. You know, you want to be on one of them that feels good to you. So if steamed peas feel good to you every day, so you do your lemon water, you do your celery juice, you do your steamed peas, you do your lettuce and steamed peas, you do it twice during the day, right? Then do some more water throughout the day, and your day is done, and you did one day of a mono-eating cleanse. Try to do the steamed peas again the next day if it's gelling, if it feels good, if you feel you're happy about it, right? Do it the next day. You could. Recommended juicer? Yeah, Melanie, the juicer is this one right here. Okay, it's the Omega MM900 HDS, but just so you know, it's the MM900 HDS. So it's not any other Omega juicer. This is the one that's the celery juicer, but it does other things too. It's a celery juicer where the pulp just comes out bone dry, right? Paulo says, so stay with one for 3 days. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay with one for 3 days. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. So anyway, that's the juice right there, MM900 HGS. There's a sale coming up on that juicer in like a few days or something. I'm not sure what day it is, but there's a sale coming up where it's 20% off. So if you wait till then, that's a good idea. But reading the book is important. As I said multiple times already, that it's really that important to understand what's happening in the book. Like, because if you do change it up, it talks about how it works. Read the book for details. It answers hundreds of questions with the mono-eating cleanse. But I'm going to help as far as like make this as simple. So let's cut right to the chase, right? Do you have your celery? Really important. Do you have your bananas if you're going to go the banana route? Do you have your lettuce? Because that's in there every day. You can have that. Do you have your lemons or limes? If you want to do limes, do you have your lemons? Right? Do you have your peas? If you're going to do the peas. So keep that in mind, right? If you want to go winter squash, if you look in the book and you see there's a winter squash option, are you going to do the winter squash option? So be ready for it, right? There's an option in the book right here. I'm going to read it. It's an option of doing steamed winter squash plus one or two of these other items. You ready? Steamed winter squash plus Brussels sprouts. You guys might want to do this one, right? Or asparagus, or green beans and Brussels sprouts, or green beans and asparagus. So here's the option. Winter squash, right? And then you can bring in some green beans, steamed green beans, some Brussels sprouts, or some asparagus. That's just an additional option that's in the Cleanse to Heal book. Just letting you know. It's so much important information in here. It's ridiculous. It's just so much information. These plans are ideal for someone with a hypersensitive intestinal tract. I'm reading right out of here on page 189, okay? Because the food options are actually soothing. They're soothing as they move through your system. This mono-eating cleanse is for people who have sensitive guts or problems with their health. So when you're doing the mono-eating plan, you're starving the very things making you sick. The pathogens, the viruses, the bacteria, which are behind gut disorders. Mono-eating offers your body a gentle detox, one that doesn't overwhelm your system. It's really important. So I'm just reading a little bit of that information there. What people experience when their guts are inflamed, they experience discomfort as food is moving through them. That's what they feel. They start to feel a problem from food moving through them. That's how it works. So when you're inflamed, you guys, right? Do the props help at all? When you're inflamed, your small intestinal tract gets pockets of inflammation in here. Your colon gets pockets of inflammation. And as food moves through, whatever that food's going to be, here's a Brussels sprout. As Brussels sprout is moving through your colon, right? Okay? It's going to be rubbing and touching inflamed colon tissue. People don't realize it. It doesn't mean the Brussels sprout's bad. That's not it at all. It just means you're going to feel foods that have fiber. You're going to feel those kinds of foods, right? And when you're eating an egg, you're not going to feel the egg moving through here because all you're going to feel is nothing because it's just going to be glue. It's going to be like this liquid mucousy glue that's just in the middle of your intestinal tract moving through. It's not touching anything. So you'd be like, well, eggs work really good for me. I eat a lot of eggs. Meanwhile, the very thing in eggs are going to make your condition worse. So your diverticulitis, diverticulosis, your Crohn's colitis, your IBS, your celiac are all going to get worse over time from eating eggs. The mono-eating cleanse and cleanse to heal, right? The mono-eating cleanse and cleanse to heal is gentle enough, but also starves the very bugs that are inside your gut that are keeping you sick and inflamed so that you can heal over time. That's what it's about. Adele says no eggs ever again. When it comes down to watermelon, if you guys want to do, if you're going to choose watermelon to mono eat, I'm just going to give you a couple of tips. You better be doing celery juice or you're going to hit the wall. You're going to hit the watermelon wall because there's not enough calories or mineral salts in watermelon. Because basically, if you're just doing watermelon by itself, and watermelon's great. I mean, I've done long-term stints of eating watermelon, but I've known how to balance it where you got to have some lettuce. You got to have some celery juice. Okay? The reason why watermelon's not this 100% like perfect option in the Cleanse and Heal book in the Mono Cleanse section is because there's not enough calories in the watermelon, and you end up doing kind of like a watermelon juice fast, right? That's what you're doing. But you can't do a watermelon juice fast long term. So how are you going to then heal your guts if you need to do the mono cleanse long term? So the mono cleanse is designed where you can actually do it long term to get to the finish line and get rid of your problems and start healing things that are deep within. That's the whole point. But absolutely, you can do a 3-day watermelon version. You're using a medical medium tool, right? The watermelon juice, the medical medium tool. That's fine. You're using that, and you're customizing it for yourself to do some mono eating cleanse, right? It's fine. But make sure you got some butterleaf lettuce in there or some kind of lettuce in there, and make sure you got your celery juice, and make sure you got your lemon water. You have to have the balance of all the different phytochemical compounds, the mineral salts. They have to be there. The antivirals, antibacterials, right? Can I use honey in the lemon water during mono eating? I'm pretty sure you can, yes. Can do it. I knew that question was going to come up. Yeah, you can. I'm pretty sure I have it in here as gap. I mean, these are medical textbooks. So much information in there. Then there's the how to transition on page 211, you guys. How to transition from completing the cleanse. So here's what you don't want to do. You ready? You did the mono eating cleanse. You guys are like pumped. You did the mono eating cleanse. And all of a sudden now you're like back cranking your coffee right away, right? You're cranking your coffee. You're just eating whatever. You're into your steak. You got butter on everything, right? You're cracking your eggs. You're doing your eggs, okay? You're doing lots of avocado. You're doing your nut butter. So you just got off the mono eating cleanse, and now you're like, I need to dig into that peanut butter, man. I need all that fat. Like, I'm hungry for all that fat. Because one of the things that's going to make you hungry on the mono eating cleanse is you're going to be probably withholding the calories and not eating enough. You might be like, okay, well, I just had a potato today. I just had one steamed potato today. I had my celery juice. I had my lemon water like Anthony's going to do. I had my lettuce and I'm starving. So when you come off the mono-eating cleanse, you're going to be like, I need butter, I need eggs, I need burgers, I need fries, or I need nut butters, peanut butter, almond butter, right? So what happens is that what you did was you were eating very little. So what you don't want to do is eat very little on the mono-eating cleanse. You want to be able to have some good servings. If you're hungry, have a few potatoes. That's what you want to do. If you're doing the steamed potato route, you just don't want to have like, okay, I'm doing the mono-eating cleanse and I'm just going to do, I got a steamed potato in my dish right here. You don't want to do that. That's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. You're going to be like, okay, well, I'm doing the mono-eating cleanse here and I have my steamed potato, because that steamed potato's only got, 30 calories? It's like literally, I'm going to have my steamed potato here. I'm on the mono-eating cleanse. I'm going to be freaking starving. No. What happens is you're allowed to have some food. You're allowed to have some food on your mono-eating cleanse. You're allowed to have some food. Do 16 to 32 ounces of celery juice, right? Hold back the salt and the seasoning on everything during these 3 days. Okay, but you can squeeze lemon on everything. So you can be like, all right, well, I'm going to have some food or squeeze some lemon on there on the potatoes. That's what you want to do, right? Put this here. Celery juice is a critical part of the mono-eating cleanse because it cuts the cravings. Mineral salts help to knock the cravings right out. So you can have your first meal afternoon because your celery juice is cutting some cravings. Right? Kimberly Miller, the papaya banana mono cleanse is saving me and healing my debilitating intestinal tract disorder. I can't tell you how many times, just so you know, I can't tell you how many times over the last 35 years, thanks to Spirit of Compassion, giving the information down to me of what that papaya and banana mono-eating cleanse has done for people. I have saved colons. You don't even know how many feet of colons and intestinal tract has been saved from the mono-eating cleanse. In the last 30 plus years, thousands of feet of colon and intestinal tracts were saved. Thousands and thousands of feet, miles long, just so you know. Miles long. Going back 35 years, okay, the papaya and banana mono-eating cleanse has stopped so many people from having to get 12 inches or 24 inches or 32 inches or 36 inches cut out of their guts that if you added it up, the medical medium mono-eating cleanse has saved thousands of feet of colon. I mean, I'm talking in the miles worth. Miles of small intestinal tract long. That's what it's done. That's what it's done. So read the chapter. Make sure you have this. Critical to have the details. Critical. This is it. You gotta have that, right? Gotta catch the details, right? And then I'm gonna be live, right? 1 o'clock Pacific, West Coast time tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern, East Coast time in the US. Live tomorrow on YouTube, Facebook, putting TikTok back on. And then a little ways after, I'll be on IG because I'm going to go to IG in a little while too. Details matter, Sarah. They do, you guys. They do. Just remember there's a sale running that I'm not in charge of. Amazon, they make the pricing the way they want it, but Amazon has this book 51% off. Amazon.com US. 51% off. It's $16. It costs more to print it. It really does. I'm not saying that. It actually costs way more to print the book. Irene, how many papayas do you eat per day? Details are in the book. It answers that. It answers the amounts like that on that level. But what I would do, okay, if I'm doing the papaya one, I got a papaya over here. Whole papaya. Papaya one, there it is, right? I would do a papaya a day. That's what I would do, for sure. Cut the papaya in half. This is a large papaya. If you got small papayas, do more of them, right? I would do a papaya and a half in a day. Doing my celery juice, lemon water, papaya and a half. That's what I would do, right? If you're just doing papaya, okay? You may not want to do that much papaya if you're doing bananas. Because if you can choose the papaya and banana version in Cleanse to Heal. So you can choose that one, you guys. The papaya and banana version in Cleanse to Heal. So keep that in mind, right? So you can do a few bananas during lunch, a couple bananas later if you wanted to, a few more bananas later on. You got your papayas too. If you're somebody that's like, can't do papaya, can't do banana. And you even have an option of doing cucumber juice in the afternoon too. You can do cucumber juice in the afternoon. Remember, this is the mono cleanse, and that's what it is. And you can do that option. Potatoes, you might be somebody that's like, look, I want to do steamed potatoes. That's the one I want. Steamed peas is another one. Read the chapter several times. It's pretty easy to do. Just read the chapter several times. The steamed pea version is amazing too. Okay, you guys? So you got that as an option. So I am totally down. Totally psyched. Totally pumped. Big time. Because, so Teresa says add lime with papaya. Yes, you can. You can. Boiled potatoes. Okay, that's a really good question. Steamed potatoes. Boiling them does something different. Really important to know, okay? When you boil potatoes, you boil a lot of the carbohydrate out of the potato. So if you boil a potato, okay, you lose a lot of the glucose that you're going to need. When you boil potatoes, you might need to eat more potatoes because you boiled them. They end up, because the glucose gets boiled, not all of it, but the glucose gets boiled out of the potato. And then those natural sugars end up in your broth. They end up in your, like the liquid you're dumping out. That's such an important question. Can you blend both papaya and banana? Yeah, you can. What I like to do is I like to blend the papaya in a food processor, right? And then I like to chop up little pieces of banana. And I like to dip them into the papaya, and I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to show you guys that in the next 3 days, how I do the papaya and banana. So I'm pumped. Anyway, you guys, make sure you got the book in your hands. It's important. I'm moving off to Instagram. I'm going to let everybody know there. Prepare them as well. Okay? And you guys on TikTok, I'm turning TikTok back on. So everybody on YouTube, Facebook, you guys, I'm going to IG. I'll be there in about 15 minutes. You guys on TikTok, I'm turning you back on. Clubhouse, I'm turning you guys back on. What do you recommend for Lyme disease? I saw that on TikTok. You got to read the Lyme section of the Cleanse to Heal book. It's so packed. What about the skin on the potatoes? You don't have to have the skin on the potatoes if you want to, and you can have them on there. You can do either or. Either or. If you're somebody that's really, really hypersensitive, like you've had surgeries, you've had inflammation, you've had all kinds of, serious issues with your guts, you can always take the skin off. The skin, though, is antibacterial. It's antiviral. Potatoes are antibacterial, antiviral. Even without the skin, they're antibacterial, antiviral. Jody Mannix, I have been eating 4 whole papayas plus bananas and lettuce every day. Is that too much? Are you happy with it? Seems pretty good to me. They gigantic papayas, they small papayas, And you got to think about it. You might be somebody that's 95 pounds. You might be somebody that's 250 pounds. You might be, so it all depends. Meaning like you might be tall. You might be petite. It depends. I mean, all those things matter. I talk about that in Cleanse to Heal. But if you're happy with that, you're eating that, sounds good. Sounds good. You guys, I'm excited. Going to IG now. Heading over now. And but the reminder is, because the question about the juicer, there's a sale coming up for the MM900 HDS. Just to let you guys know. It's coming up eventually, pretty soon. So if you guys don't have a juicer, it's a great one. Other than that, I'm just trying to prepare everything for you guys, with you guys, okay? Make sure you eat enough bananas, though. If you're doing the banana mono eating cleanse, make sure you're doing enough bananas. Okay? Everybody is different. Somebody might be good with 8 bananas. Somebody might be good with 10 or 12. All depends on what you're also used to eating too. Don't under-calorie yourself, because then you might hit the wall because you're hungry. And then when you come off the mono eating cleanse, you're like tanking the nut butters, you know, when it didn't have to go down like that. I love you guys. I'll see you soon, maybe 15 minutes, right? I'm heading over to IG, okay? Hope to see you guys soon. Awesome.